Hello and welcome to Bruce Springsteen Guitar Lessons. Hope you're staying safe and well during these crazy times. So today's lesson is going to be an acoustic version of It's Hard to Be a Saint in the City from Tracks. Thanks very much to Patreon Peter Connell for the request. Also be sure to follow to the end of the video just in case I go through any parts that aren't in the walkthrough. So what I'll do now is play the whole song through and you'll see a tab appear on the screen, then I'll come back and go through all the individual parts. See you in a bit. Hello and welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that walkthrough. So now what we're going to do is go through all the individual parts. Okay, so this song is predominantly in the key of A major. There are a few other chords in, for example, in the middle 8 section, but most of the song, the chords are in A major. Okay, so with this song, this is a very early Bruce kind of recording of this song on Tracks. It's a great version. There's lots, his strumming is very kind of constant kind of 16th notes, so semi-quaver strumming. So the key of this song is to learn all the kind of these how to strum 16th notes and semi-quavers properly, and that makes it a lot more easy to kind of manage. But also Bruce, every time he plays these live, if he was to play this on the acoustic, he'd vary it up. So really it's getting all the techniques down. Cool, so let's go through the chords. So the first one we've got is A major. So you're going to bar it, this A major chord, so 0, 2, 2, 2, middle 4 strings. And then you also, the reason we're going to bar that is because you're also going to do a D over A chord, which is the second chord in the intro. So fret-wise here, using your first, second and third fingers, third finger on the 4th fret D, first finger on the 2nd fret G, middle finger on the 3rd fret B. Play play the open A. So this chord's really nice, a D over A chord. Okay, so that's A major, D over A, and we've also got A7 sus4, which is used a lot in this song in the break section. It's a really nice chord. Now he plays it with his middle and little fingers, I think. So the middle and the pinky. So middle finger, 2nd fret D, little finger, 3rd fret B. The reason he plays it like that is because then it's a lot easier to go to an A7 chord. Okay, so the A7 chord is just basically 0, 2, 0, 2, 0. So A7 sus4, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0 with your middle and 4th fingers, and then A7. Really nice couple of chords there. Cool. Then we've also got a B minor, but actually this only happens as the penultimate chord. You just do one strum. So not a big part of the song, obviously, but there's the B minor chord right at the end of the song. So fret-wise, you've got 2, 4, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so A shape minor bar chord. You've got a C sus4 chord that's used in the middle 8 section. Really nice chord. Bruce uses this quite a lot. So fret-wise, you've got 3, 3, 0, 1. Middle 4 strings. It's a C sus4 chord. You've also got a C major chord, standard C major chord. So fret-wise, 3, 2, 0, 1, 0. Okay, cool. And then we've got a normal D major chord. So 0 from the D string, root note on the D string, 0, 2, 3, 2. Okay, so that's D major. You also got a D minor chord that we're going to be playing in the middle 8 section. So 0 from the root note on the D string, 0, 2, 3, 1. Then you also got a D7 chord in the middle 8 section. We've got 0, 2, 1, 2 in terms of frets there. You've also got a D7 sus4 chord, which I love this chord. Really nice chord. So that's 0, 2, 1, and then your little finger on the 3rd fret of the E string. So that's D7 sus4. Then you've got E major. So 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0. And you also got an E7 sus4 at the end of the middle 8 section. And again, really, these chords sound so nice, I think. Okay, so 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 0 with your middle and 3rd fingers. You've got an F over C chord in the middle 8. So that's 3, 3, 2, 1, 1. Okay, F over C chord there. And then you also, a chord that's just kind of used a lot in the song. I've put it on the song structure, which I'm also going to put up on the screen now. So again, the song structure will also be in the description. So any chords in brackets basically means there's however many chords in that particular bar. You might find that song structure useful to kind of refer back to and see if you're getting the order of the chords right, etc. So, but I've referred to this chord as an F sharp minor in the song structure just for simplicity. Really, technically it's called an F sharp minor with a C over C sharp, because it's a C sharp in the bass, and Bruce plays this shape a lot. It saves you barring the whole lot, and it sounds really nice. It's easy to kind of chop and change between other kind of chords. So it's an F sharp minor over C sharp, but in the song structure I refer to it as an F sharp minor. So fret wise, you're barring the 2nd fret with your 1st finger and the G, the B and the E strings. And then you put your 3rd finger and your 4th finger on the 4th fret of the A and the D strings, okay? Again, you're just playing it from the A string. So that's an F sharp minor. That's the F sharp minor that we're going to be using. Cool, and the other chords we've got, again, some of these chords only really appear once, maybe twice. So a lot of these chords we've been doing are in the middle 8 section, but some of them is used quite a lot. So there's another one that's in the middle 8. G sus4 chord, again, really nice chord. Sus chords, dominant 7 sus4 chords, and these chords sound really cool when used properly. So G sus4, 3rd finger on the 6th fret, the 3rd fret 6th string, little finger 3rd fret on the 1st string, and then you got 1st finger on the first fret of the B string. Again, this is in the middle 8, so that's G sus4, and you're kind of blocking out the A string with the underside of your third finger. And then take your first finger off, and you've got kind of a funny kind of type of G chord, but it's still a G chord. Little finger, third fret, E, and then third finger, third fret on the other C string, again blocking out that A string. Cool. Okay, so they're all the chords. Okay, and don't forget you can check the order of them in the song structure, and also you'll see them with a tab in the walkthrough as well. So don't forget you can slow down any YouTube video, not just mine. Any YouTube video by clicking on the cog icon in the bottom right hand corner of any, and you can slow down the song. The sound quality gets reduced a little bit, but it's a cool way of obviously, as you're seeing the tab pop in and out, you kind of keep up with it a little bit more. Okay, so what you're doing is you're coming in on beat 4 with a kind of dead note, so 1, 2, 3, and mute, and then beat 1 of this main kind of 2-bar riff that we're going to be using a lot in this intro. You're going to do this 1 E and A. Okay, so that's down, up, 1 E and A. Then beat 2, you've got a mute on the first half of the beat, and then you've got A major on the second half of the beat. So 1 E and A, 2 and then you've got the D over A chord, 3 E and 4 and A. Again, fret wise for that is 0, 4, 2, 3. So A major barred, and then D over A. So you've got 1 E and A, 2 and 3 E and 4 and A. So beats 3 and 4 are going down, up, down, 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 up. 3 E and 4 and A. So that whole bar, you've got 1 E and A, 2 and 3 E and 4 and A, 1 E and. So this is the second bar, you've got 1 E and A, 2 and 3 E and A, 4 and. It's a really cool kind of bluesy riff in this second part of this riff. So you've got first 2 beats go like this second bar, 1 E and A, 2 and. So what you're doing is you're kind of doing this bluesy riff, middle finger, third fret A string, 1 E and A, 2 and. Then you're hammering on the start of beat 3 onto the 4th fret of the A string, the third finger, and then you're going to kind of doing this E and A, 4 and. Okay, so 1 E and A, 2 and 3 E and A, 4 and. It's a little bit fiddly to start with. Okay, I'll just break down those beats again. So beat 1 of the second bar, 1 E and A. Beat 2, 3 and it's beat 2, 3 and beat 3 you're going, it's going to be a hammer on 1, 1 E, and then it's an A chord, so 1 E and so 3 E and 4 and. It's quite fiddly. So that bar again, 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and again 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and. So you've got that kind of just after that 4th fret A string, you're going to the A, then you're going straight to that D over A. So those 2 bars will go like this: 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and. Really cool, especially at speed, because it's quite fast, this song. Again, Bruce was renowned for his really fast strumming in the early days. So again, you've got that kind of one off mute before you go into this 2-bar riff. 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and. Now those 2 bars you're going to do 3 times, and then the first of those 2 bars you're going to do 1 more time. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 technically. 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and 4 and a. And then you're going to just stay on the A major to get ready for the first verse. So you've got this, this is bar 8 if you kind of discount that one off mute note. So be bar 8, which is 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Again, don't forget to play a lot of different live versions and things like that will be different every time. But as long as you've got all the techniques down and the chords in the right order, and you're kind of playing on a down stroke when you should be in an up stroke, and that'll be really good. So What I'll do is I'll do the whole of the intro. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a. Cool, so now what we're going to do is go through the first and second verses, okay? So you might vary them up slightly, second verse to the first verse, but pretty much all these elements are in there, so you can feel free to change it up a little bit. This is pretty much how it goes. So what we've got is this F sharp minor chord, but with the C sharp in the bass, okay? The first beat, 1 E and a, and then you've got this dead note, 1 E and a 2 and a, okay? So the first two beats, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. The third one is a mute, 1 E and a 2 and a, and then some semiquavers or 16th notes, 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, so 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Cool, and then we've got a D major chord, 1 E and a 2 and a, or down, up, down, down, up. And then just straight 16th notes for the rest of the bar with an E major. And a 4 E and a. So just do those two bars, 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a. Cool. And then you've got the A major to the D over A. So you've got this rhythm, 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So you've got down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Halfway through beat 2 is when you're changing to that D over A chord. So you've got 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And then for the next one, I think there's slight variations sometimes where he's doing this instead, okay? You're going 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a. So just cutting out one of the strums, okay? So what I'll do is I'll play those first 4 bars of the verse section, okay? So you've got F sharp minor first, then D, then E, then A, and then D over A, then D over A. Okay, so 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 E. So it's really cool, especially at speed, you know. When you start to get up to speed, then it really starts to sound awesome. Cool, so now we're going to do the second half of the verse sections. It's going to do that F sharp minor and then the D over E again. So those next 2 bars we've already done. So. Cool, and now what we're going to do is going to introduce another dead note. So the mute for the F sharp minor chord. So what we're going to do is going to go 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a. So really, again, this will take a bit of time if you're not used to this kind of strumming before. But I've got quite a few of my acoustic songs use a lot of these 16th note strumming patterns. So it'd be worth checking some of those out as well. So what we've got is you've got 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a. So down, up, down with a mute, down, up, down, up, down, up, mute, down, up. Okay, 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a. I'm going to do that bar again. Cool, so what I'll do is play the whole of the verse section. So it's 8 bars. I'm going to do the same, pretty much the same thing for the first and the second verses. So 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a. Cool. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take a look at the first bridge and the first chorus. Okay, so at the end of the verse sections, what we had is the F sharp minor with 2 mutes. So now what we're going to do is apply that same rhythm, but with a D major for the first bar of the bridge. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a. Now for the second bar, you start off pretty much the same for the first 3 beats. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a. Now in the first half of beat 4, you've got the D again, but then the F sharp minor is what we call pushed. So that's really cool. He definitely does it in this first bridge especially. So 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and that's tied to the next bar. Okay, so just do those first 2 bars of the first bridge again. So 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and then it's tied into the next bar. You've got some downstrokes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you've got 2 bars of D again. Cool, so let's play that again, the first bridge. So you've got 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Cool, so that's the first bridge. So now let's take a look at the first chorus. Okay, so what we've got is you've got the half a bar of D, 1 E and a 2 and a, 1 E and a 2 and a, which is what we were doing for that first half of a bar in the bridge sections. Okay, 1 E and a 2 and a, and apply the same rhythm but now to the E major, 1 E and a 2 and a, and then you got the F sharp minor with the 2 mutes, and basically you're going to do that again. So 1 E and a 2 and a, 1 E and a 2 and a. Basically the second time, F sharp minor, just do one, it's slightly different strumming pattern, the 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a little bit more strumming going on. So this is the first 4 bars of the first chorus. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and. Cool, so that's the first kind of half of the first chorus. And now what we've got is something slightly different. D major, and you're going to do 2 strums, downstrokes, these are quavers. So 1 and then basically some open strings, 1 and 2. So 1 and 2. So 3 quavers or 8th notes, half a beat each, 1 and 2. And then on the and a 2, strike the E chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 E and a. Okay, so this sort of split bar, you're going to use this quite a lot in the choruses. So 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 E and a. And you do that again, 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 E and a. And now what you're going to do is this next section, he brings down the volume a little bit, so make it a little bit quieter. And you've got 3 rounds of this, the 2 bars that you were doing at the start of the first chorus. But with the extra strumming, so that would have been bar 4 of the first chorus. So 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. So it's a really cool, nice kind of percussive sound to it. So you do that 3 times, those 2 bars, and then the final bar of the chorus you've got 1 E and a 2 E and. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and then straight semiquavers for beats 3 and 4. 3 E and a 4 E and. Also what I'm going to do is play the whole of the first chorus. You've got 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a bit more strumming there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 E and a 1. A little bit quieter. And again. Okay, so then after that you've got the break section. So that's the first bridge and the first chorus. So let's take a look at the second bridge and the second chorus. So basically it starts off pretty much the same, but instead of pushing that chord, that F sharp minor early in the that we had in the second bar of the first bridge. We're not going to do that. So it's a little bit more straightforward. So it's just 4 bars in this second bridge. It's just 2 bars of D with the mutes. Then F sharp minor with the mutes for 1 bar. Then back to D. Yeah, so that second bridge again. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... Cool, and now we've got the second chorus, so slightly different structure. It's just slightly shorter than we had in the first one. So basically we've got that those downstrokes to start with, the 1 and 2 with the open strings on the third strum, 1 and 2 and 3 and a 40 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and a 40 and a, so 2 bars of that. And then you've got again the same sort of 3 of those quiet bits, those 2 bars that are done quite quietly. So again 3 rounds of that, same as in the first chorus. And then that final bar of the chorus is the same as in the first chorus. Of course, that's the second chorus. So the third chorus is pretty much the same, but I think he's building up the volume a lot more on the third round of that quiet section. And you're actually cutting out in the third chorus that bit. So it's actually a lot smaller. So the first chorus is the largest one, second chorus slightly less, and then the third chorus even less. So what we've got, that third chorus, you've got that 2 rounds of the quiet one. And then it gets kind of slightly louder. And then that final bar of the third chorus. Cool, so let's go through that third chorus again. So, round 1. And then that was round 2. And then we got round 3, a little bit louder. And 1 E and a 2 E. Cool, so that's the third chorus. Okay, so let's now take a look at the first and the second breaks. So what we've got is this really nice A7 sus4 chord, and this is going to last for 1.5 beats to start with, and then the second one is going to last for a beat. So you've got this 1 E and 1, 2 and 3 and a 4 E and that's basically some 6 semiquavers or 16th notes at the end. So you've got this down, 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 up, down, up, down, up. Counting wise, 1, 2 and 3 and a 4 E and a. Okay, and then we've got a bar of A7. So all you need to do is leave your middle finger there, put your third finger down, and you've got this. Down, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So counting wise, 1 and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, so play those 2 bars again. So this is the first 2 bars of the first and second breaks. 1 E, 1, 2 and 3 and a 4 E and a 1 and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 E and a. Cool, and then basically he seems to be adding some more strums here. So what I've suggested is doing this. Down, up, down, up, up, down. Okay, so 1 E and a 2 E and then 3 E and a 4 E and a. So down, up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And do the same for the A7. Down, up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, so the break sections, this is the first and the second breaks, pretty much the same both times. It's going to go like this. So A7 sus4 to A7. Then you do A7 sus4 to A7 with a few more strums. So 1, 2 and 3 and a 4 E and a 1 and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 E and a. Cool, so then basically the middle 8 section starts off the first two bars of the break are actually the same first two bars of the middle eight. So A7 sus4 to A7, 1, 2 and 3 and a 40 and a 1 and a 2E and 3 and 40 and you're going to basically do the same thing now, rhythm wise, but with different chords. So you've got some really nice chords here. This is the D7 sus4. So 0 from the D string, 0, 2, 1, 3. And then for the second bar, you're going to go to the D7 chord. So 1, 2 and 3 and a 40 and a 1 and a 2E and 3 and a 40 and they're going to do the same now for G sus4 and G. So again, check the chords that I went through earlier. So G sus4 and then G. So 1, 2 and 3 and oops, G sus4 first. 1, 2 and 3 and a 40 and a 1 and a 2E and 3 and a 40 and then he seems to be building up the strumming. So what I've done here is actually put in accents as well. He seems to be doing a lot more semiquaver 16th note strumming here for the next kind of the last part of this middle eight section. So what I've suggested is going to do constant semiquavers or 16th notes, but put an accent, so hit the first and the sixth ones slightly, give it a bit more oomph to it, okay? Slightly louder in dynamics. So the chord, to start this off, we're going to do C sus4. So 3, 3, 0, 1 from the A string. So you're going to go 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 40 and a, but add, so the first and the sixth are slightly more accents, more prominent. So what you could do is do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then 4E and so two groups of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4E and then down, up, down, up. That you might find that helps to kind of count that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4E and or down, up, down, up. And then the same thing now with C major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4E. D minor for 2 bars. Then F over C for 2 bars. And E7 sus4, really nice chord for 2 bars as well. 1. Cool, so it's quite a big middle eight, but some really nice stuff going on there. So what I'll do is I'll go through the whole of the middle eight. So start off with the A7 sus4. 1, 2 and 3 and a 40 and a 1 and 2E and 3. 1 and a 2E and 3 and 4. G sus4. C sus4. C. D minor. F. E7. Cool, so really cool section that, I really like that. Cool, so that's the breaks done and then the middle eight section. Again, don't forget to check the song structure just to make sure you got it all right, and then it will be in this the description as well. Cool, so this now take a look at the outro section. So here what we've got, basically it starts off the first 2 bars with the middle eight and the second break and the first break. So these A7 sus4 to A7, so there's the first 2 bars. 1, 2 and 3 and a 40 and a 1 and a 2E and 3E and a 40 and then it goes back to that kind of D, E and F sharp minor riff, you know, with the mute. So okay, and then it basically does that D and E bar again, and then basically we're kind of cut out a few strums which I've suggested in the tab. 1E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and then B minor as a one-off chord, just kind of set up the final chord, and then kind of an arpeggiated F sharp minor chord at the end. So let me play that whole of that outro section. So 1, 2 and 3 and a 40 and a 1 and a 2E and 3 and a 40 and Cool, so that's all the parts. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Any comments or suggestions, feel free to let me know in the comments suggestions. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to see tab and things like that at the end of these, during these lesson parts of the videos, sign up to the Bruce Legend tier on the Patreon site. Again, you can get access to guitar profiles, guitar PDFs, backing tracks, and all that sort of guitar solo videos on Patreon as well. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you all next week. Cheers, bye.